welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm back here again with another sports car collecting and investing video, and today I'm bringing you a very important topic, and those are the biggest mistakes to avoid and steer clear away from whenever you're investing in the sports cards. So, whether you are brand new to the channel or brand new to the hobby, brand new to sports cards, these are some of the mistakes that I ended up learning from, and, I just want to show you guys pretty much just how to steer clear from these guys. They not only hurt your pockets, it just makes it ends up making the hobby not fun. Because obviously if you have a hobby and you're spending money into it, there's nothing worse than spending money into a hobby that just the money goes the wrong way. So without further ado, if you are brand new to this channel, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I bring out about 2 to 3 videos a week on sports car collecting and investing. So like I said, just make sure you subscribe, like, and comment on this video as well, and let me know what you guys think at the end. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Pretty much the number one mistake to avoid pretty much is buying wax instead of single cards. So a lot of people, they end up buying into brakes, wax, or like boxes and stuff. For example, this is sealed wax. This is a Mosaic Cello. I'm gonna use this as an example, guys. This pack right here is anywhere from $40 to $50. This set, Mosaic Cello, this pack of 15 cards. And buying from packs, guys, it's like gambling. So you're not guaranteed anything. Sometimes you could open the pack and it's $7 worth of cards. It's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes, unfortunately. Pretty much, for example, let's say you were to buy, let's say you had the box. The blaster box is about $100, or I think it's $120 now. With that $120, it's better to invest that $120 into something already established. Let's say you get a Panini Prism Trae Young PSA 9, something that can keep going up with time. The hype with Trae Young is pretty big. It's better to buy into single players rather than sealed wax, ripping on your own, or buying into breaks. Because let's say you're just constantly buying into breaks, and you've only hit one mega card out of the $600 you spent. Some people they end up spending like $100 per break, and that stuff adds up. And if you think about it, you bought into 6 breaks at $100, that's $600, and with that $600 you probably could have got a nice Luka, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, any kind of card like that. The only time I do recommend buying or ripping instead of buying into single cards is if you end up buying it for the retail price. So if you end up finding these luckily at like a Walmart or a Target, and you actually paid the retail price, these are $10 retail, but they're always typically sold out because they're so in demand and people buy all of them whenever they're available. That's the only time I recommend buying wax, ripping into sealed boxes, cellos, stuff like that. Next, guys, staying away from college cards. For example, college cards are just a bad investment in general. They're great for quick flips, especially if it's completely right after the draft. But over time, it's the people in the hobby, the market, they only care about as far as what I've seen, they only care about the pro uniform. So if you have a Zion Williamson Duke card, a Prism PSA 10, I don't know how much it is, but I'm gonna just throw an example. I think maybe it's the base Zion is maybe like $150, probably. Could be a little more. I could be wrong. I just don't buy into college cards. But for example, let's say it is $150. His base Prism with a New Orleans Pelicans uniform, a PSA 10, is almost $900. So unless you're a college collector, unless you love that college and you're just trying to build a collection based on collegiate athletes, or you're very into that player, for example, as you guys know, I'm pretty big on Bam Adebayo. I don't even have his college cards. They're just not good investments long term. They're great for collecting though, nothing wrong if you collect them, but they're only good, I believe, for quick flips. So like, for example, right now with the NFL draft, Joe Burrow, Tua cards, Justin Herbert, they still haven't released them in a pro uniform. So right now is still the perfect time to sell those Joe Burrow LSU uniforms, because once that first card of him in a Bengals jersey does release, that card is just gonna plummet and keep going down. You know, they're just not good investments long term, guys. But yeah, on to the next one. Not getting a large enough sample size before going all into one player. So, you know, if you're gonna go all in on one player, don't go into don't buy into the hype. You know, you may see the tapes, the mixtapes, you know, a couple highlights, box scores. You know, watch a few games. You know, watch tape, watch some film on them. You know, watch a couple games. I just think that unless they are super cheap, you know, then, you know, maybe you can go all in and, you know, buy a good amount, because, you know, there's that low risk because you bought a bunch for this certain amount of money, and then there's that high reward. So, you know, like I said, just do plenty of research before you go all into one player. Another one, guys, just steer away from this. Just stay away from this, and that's buying into sports you have no clue about, just nothing about, and that's going with the hype as well. So let's say, for example, you're on a sports card Facebook group, and you know, you see a bunch of people posting Luis Robert, probably is his name. I don't watch baseball anymore, honestly, but let's say, you know, you're seeing a bunch of his cards sell off the wall. Jason Dominguez, for example. You know, don't go with the hype. Do not buy into cards that, you know, you have no idea about. For example, whenever this was in May or so, whenever Bowman baseball came out, I saw a lot of people chasing Jason Dominguez, and that made me want to chase him. So, you know, I started buying Bowman packs, and, you know, this goes back to the rip and wax part. You know, if you're buying into, you know, these, sure, I was ripping at retail, but, you know, I was buying maybe like 8, you know, gravity packs, which is like 12 cards per pack, and I didn't get one Jason Dominguez at all. And then you're just stuck with a bunch of cards you don't even care about or you don't even know about, and, you know, it's just gonna sit there. So do plenty of research. Don't buy into anything that you have no absolute idea about, guys. Next one, this is something that is very important, especially, you know, if you're gonna be buying into it, and that's expecting gem mint cards when buying raw. Whenever you buy a raw card, this is an example of a raw card, you know, not graded, nothing like that. And this is a graded card. This is a Kobe Topps PSA 9. But expecting gem mint when you are buying raw is one of the biggest mistakes you can do. So let's say, for example, you've bought, you know, a lot of 10 cards for $300. You know, it's no guarantee. It's literally just like rip and wax. There's no guarantees that you're gonna get a PSA 10, a BGS 9.5, an SGC 10. You are gambling, and, you know, honestly, whenever you buy from people raw online, they most likely put in the description, you know, item is near mint to mint plus, or, you know, to mint. And, you know, obviously we're not professional graders, so if I sell a card raw online, I'm obviously going to tell you if there's something wrong with it, or if there's something that caught my eye that obviously it's probably not going to gem out. And it's just a bad look whenever you're wanting to buy gem mint at raw prices. You know, if you want gem mint, guys, just buy it gem mint. And gem mint obviously means a PSA 10. So, you know, for example, this is gem mint, PSA 10. You know, it just makes you look like a bad person, honestly, especially if you like call people out on it. Also, you know, I see a bunch of stuff on some sports card scammers pages. You know, people always wanting to buy, you know, gem mint at raw prices. You know, obviously none of us are professional graders, guys, so everything is subject to the grader. And you know, that's just the risk you take with buying raw cards. So whenever you're buying raw cards, you know, just don't be that guy that, you know, expects gem mint every time that you get a raw card, because it's just not gonna happen. For example, you know, I've bought a bunch of Bam Adebayo raw cards, and I've bought maybe like 30 base optics. Probably like 8 of them I'm gonna submit to PSA. The other 22, you know, they're clearly not, I don't think that they're gonna qualify, and they may be like PSA 8s or 9s, or not even 9s, could be 8s and 7s. But yeah, just don't be that guy. Another thing, guys, not going with your gut. This is something that, not taking chances. Just avoid not taking chances. It sucks because, for example, with the quick flip game, the quick flip aspect of the sports card collecting and investing world, there was a couple cards that I could have purchased that I didn't go with my gut, and I just didn't pull the trigger on, and it came back to bite me that week later. Like, for example, Colin Kaepernick cards at the beginning of June. I remember seeing this guy, he had quantities, PSA 10s, $40-50, and then like a week later, that card was about 300 plus. So imagine, you bought off all 10 of those. Let's say he had 10. Imagine you bought 10 of those, and that was $400 you spent, and you sold them, let's say, for 200. So you just turned 400, 2,000 potentially within the span of a week or two. And another one was Cam Newton that I really dropped the ball on. I'm very excited that he's with the Patriots. I remember on Mercari, his card was like $40 PSA 10, and then once he signed with the Patriots, 250, 300, almost 400. It was just insane. So that has taught me to, start going with my gut. And, if you feel strongly like, hey, this may be a splash, and with how the card market is fluctuating weekly, daily, with the NBA being back, right now, people are treating it like fantasy. Michael Porter Jr. yesterday, guys, went off, had 37 points. His PSA 10 went from like 160 to almost $400, $500, and people are literally treating this like fantasy right now. So right now is the perfect time to get into the quick flip game. If you have a great prediction, if you believe in your gut that, hey, this player might go off, take that chance. Go ahead and pull that trigger, and then you never know, you could double your money, triple your money within the next week. And the last one, guys, this is something I think is going to be really important in the long term. Personally, this is just my opinion. I don't know, but I think, a lot of collectors are going to look into this, and that's not checking the pop reports. Pop report, I think in the future, right now the hobby is just so crazy that people are just disregarding the pop report. But I think in the future, the pop report is going to be super important to any card. For example, Luka Doncic, this card right here, the Panini Prism, card number 280, one of the hottest cards on the market. The reason I have a PSA 9, I got this PSA 9 a month ago, like early July, for about $230. The reason I didn't pull the trigger on this PSA 10, at the time that his PSA 10 was like 700 to 750. Now it's like 1,100. But the reason I will never pull the trigger on that card specifically is because of the pop report. There are 12,359 PSA 10s in existence. That's not even counting BGS, guys. That's not counting SGC. That's just PSA's pop report on this card. That's a lot. For example, this card is $1,100. I mean, maybe I think it'll still keep going up if he goes off, but when is enough? When will it cap? You have to think of, what is its maximum cap? And that's another reason why I check pop reports, because it's super important that, like, later on, if you're wanting to, hold something long term, the pop report's gonna matter to people. That's why, if I was to get Luka, if I was to pull the trigger on Luka rookie cards, I would look at like the courtside select, the premier select, even the concourse. Any of the select cards on any player, typically the select always has the lowest pop report. Prism is king, so obviously Prism gets most of the love, but there's still a lot of gain. Even, for example, I got this card for $230. Now it's a $440 card. Obviously I've almost doubled my money at the moment. But the reason, like I said, I wasn't investing into the PSA 10s, the pop report. There's over 10,000 of this with PSA 10s, over 10,000. So just take that into consideration when you're investing into a card. And then another thing, guys, that I did want to talk to you about is that, you know, when you buy when you buy graded cards, sorry for pausing so long, when you buy graded cards, you know, let's say if you're brand new to the hobby and you got only $100 to spend, you know, just I would not invest $100 into wax or raw cards. I would, with that $100, think of a player that you believe in highly and find the best graded card that you can get. It doesn't have to be a gem mint 10. Don't sleep on the 9s, guys. Do not sleep on the 9s. PSA 9s have a lot of room to grow still. I mean, for example, like I said, this is just one example here. I got this Trae Young a couple months back for 60, 70 bucks. Now it's like 130 bucks. You know, PSA 9s always have room to grow. And, you know, don't be afraid to pull the trigger on just your first graded card. Like I said, it doesn't have to be gem mint. You know, don't sleep on the PSA 9s. I mean, if you want Michael Jordan cards, PSA 8s and 7s are nice too. You know, it's Jordan. These are 90s cards. You know, they don't have to be 9s and 10s. You know, they look really nice even as 8 and 7s. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And let me know also in the comments if you guys like these kind of videos and if there's any kind of other topics you want me to talk about. You know, similar to, you know, what we just talked about. But that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys. I really appreciate all the love and support, guys. Once again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care.